Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, let's take a break halfway through this year and talk about, well, looking back, what commanders have come out so far this year and what ones are the most popular ones that are seeing play and talk about why that is. Let's jump into it. So, Natu Winged Wisdom comes in at number 10 with 4,404 decks to its name, and guess what? This one is not old at all. This one is pretty new still. I mean, Modern Horizons 3 didn't come out all that long ago, and it already has that many decks to its name. Let's talk about why. A 3/4 Bird Wizard with flying for 3 mana in Simic. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature comes to the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put on the battlefield. Otherwise, put in your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. This card has impacted so many things. I mean, other formats as well, yes, but also the absurd pricing of certain cards like Sea Gods something or whatever. Just like really old Shuko. Really old, terrible cards for most decks out there, but for this one, it's like, oh my gosh, the best thing of all time. Because this is a Simic commander that, yes, does take Simic in a somewhat different direction, okay? It's like, all right, we're going to be going with, you know, card draw and lands, but now with targeting. This is a commander that does do things a little bit differently, but ultimately gives you what most Simic players want, card draw as well as land ramp. And it can be incredibly broken, incredibly easy, incredibly quickly. When it comes to the kind of breakdown of kinds of decks we're seeing, let's quickly look at EDH Rec. Make sure I'm getting this right. Pod, Landfall, Counters, Auras, and Lands are the top 5. Yeah, I mean, those are definitely ones that, yeah, there's going to be a mix within a Natu deck, but if you're going to be going super fast, super well, yeah, Pod can be great to get the right creature out into play. I mean, like a Scoot Swarm out, like, okay, that's probably game over. Tutoring up other things like a Shuko can be great as well. Of course, Landfall can be absolutely gross and broken too. Yeah, Natu is up here for a reason because, again, it is different, it is unique, but it is brokenly overpowerful, and it does what most Simic players want. Again, lands, card draw. So yeah, Natu comes in at 10th place, 4,404 decks to its name, even though, again, it's a very new commander. Next up, also in that exact same set, well, the Necro Boom coming at 9th place with 5,346 decks to its name. A 2/7 plant for 4 mana. Here we go. Landfall, whenever a land enters battlefield under control, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. If you control 7 more lands of different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. Basically, Field of the Dead. Land cards in your graveyard have Dredge too. Oh my goodness. So essentially, Dakmor Salvage plus Field of the Dead commander? Yeah, with some Landfall loveliness. Players absolutely love this commander. I mean, Landfall is already a very popular, deck type in commander. This one says, you know what, we can go Landfall, but we can also go crazy, like, graveyard value shenanigans, and maybe some combo with, like, a Gitrog, because basically, again, Gitrog comes with Dakmor Salvage and any free discard outlet, and this says, hey, all of your lands are Dakmor Salvage. So this one gives you a lot of different avenues to go, and you can go like zombies if you really want to go with it as well. This is a commander that checks all the boxes, utilizes a lot of cool colors with this kind of, build essentially. So yeah, you can do some really cool things with this one. This is one that, yeah, you can go Aristocrats if you want to do it too. You've got a lot of different avenues to go. When it comes to the most popular builds, quickly looking at EDH Rec, we've got lands. Yes, that's pretty apparent. Landfall, and yeah, that's basically kind of what you're going to be going with it. You're going to be going in those directions. You can also, again, go that Gitrog type thing. But yeah, 5,346 decks to its name. Again, even though it is new, like Natu, it is from Modern Horizons 3. It already has this many decks. That is absurd. 9th place finish for the Necro Boom. Moving on to 8th place, we've got a pre-con commander from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. We've got Stella wildcard. 5,617 decks to its name. So when it comes to pre-con decks, yeah, those numbers can be up there because some players just go by the pre-con and put the deck in there, and then all of a sudden that is just an extra deck that is adding to the list versus, building it from scratch. And not there's saying anything wrong with that, but it can inflate the numbers a little bit. But yeah, Stella, I can guarantee you, even outside of just the pre-cons, is making waves. Yeah, players are building around this one. 2/4 Human Rogue for 3 mana, and is it? Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile a top card of your library. Till the end of your next turn, you may play that card. I mean, that's nice, but more importantly, tap, copy target, insert sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only if you've cast 3 more spells this turn. this combos with a ham sandwich, essentially. There are so many cards out there. It's like, okay, I can untap this infinitely, copy that thing infinitely, and yeah, sure, just draw a card with Cerulean Wisps, essentially. Or yeah, Dramatic Reversal. Cast all the things in my deck, probably. So this one is one that can be built Spellslinger, Storm, Cantrips, Combo, lots of different avenues to victory with this one. It is super powerful, super low to the ground, and yeah, just an absolutely absurd commander. We're starting to see a trend with these commanders that many of them that are popular so far are pretty poor so far, but yeah, we shall see kind of where we end up with the rest of this list. As of right now, again, 8th place though, 5,617 decks to its name. But now let's move on to number 7 with 5,718 decks to its name. Judith Carnage Connoisseur, a 3/4 human shaman for 5 mana in Rakdos. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose 1, gains Death Touch and Lifelink, the spell does, or create a 2/10 red imp creature token with when it dies, 2 damage each opponent. Both they're nice, but the first one, well, one part of that matters more than most, and that is that the spell gains Death Touch. All you need now are just tiny little, like, 1 mana spells that say, oh no, I hurt your creatures for 1. Oh no, 1 damage to all your creatures. Oh no, anything like that, and all of a sudden, your opponent's creatures are gone. It is a one-sided board wipe for a 1 mana spell. Or maybe, okay, oh, you have to overpay. There's some 2 mana ones, too, that are a bit more flexible with other things, too. Like, okay, cool. Regardless, just being 1 little tiny damage to all your creatures, and they're all gone. And by the way, oh, how many creatures is that? 20 creatures total? Oh, cool, I gained 20 life too because it also had lifelink. So you're paying 1, maybe 2 mana at the most to just demolish your opponent's boards again, and again, while also gaining a ton of life. You can utilize, life gain triggers, life gain effects, or you can just start making some little imps too to take your opponents out as well. So yeah, damage doubling things can work out really well. That being said, when you're building this commander, the top ones are going to be like Burn, Card Draw, Treasure, and a lot of low-to-the-ground spells that can help you with those things a lot and do some crazy things. Yeah, this is a commander that can be absolutely absurd, can control the game in absolutely no time, and if you don't deal with it, it's going to demolish you. There's a reason why this one's so popular, because it kind of takes, any of those, like, old, terrible spells that just deal out little bits of damage and says, you know what, you're an amazing spell now, you're great, you're one of the best cards in my deck. This commander is crazy good. 7th place finish, Judith Carnage Connoisseur. Moving on to 6th place with 5,832 decks to its name, one of the Fallout commanders, Caesar Legion's Emperor. Yeah, these became quite popular. 4/4 human soldier for 4 mana in Mardu. Whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose 2. Create 2 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens with haste that are tapped and attacking. You draw a card, you lose 1 life, or it deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target opponent. This one is one that is built typically in tokens, humans, or soldiers, or a combination of those things. And those types of strategies around it can be quite powerful. It gives you a lot of value throughout the game to be had. And again, it had that Fallout boost. Fallout, I think Mark Rosewater said, was the most popular precons ever sold. So, like it or hate it, they are very popular right now on EDH Rect because those precons are making such a big impact. So yeah, Caesar Legion's Emperor just included, Caesar and Legion to the same word. It's a season. There you go. That could be the name too. But yes, this has become a very popular commander. Again, a token strategy can be very good with it. Do a lot of crazy cool things with it. 6th place finish, 5,832 decks to its name. You know what else is popular in Commander? Eldrazi. Yeah, Ulle Fuse Atrocity. 5th place finish, 6,527 decks to its name. Built typically in, Eldrazi Tribal, Sacrifice, or Big Mana. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. 2/5 Eldrazi for a weird color combination. Wooburg, or all colorless, or a combination of that. Devoid. When you cast an Eldrazi spell, you may pay colorless. If you do, copy all spells you control, then copy all their activating triggered abilities you control. Choose your targets for the copies. This is basically like, hey, do all the colorless things and Eldrazi things and all the fun. Be able to double up your Eldrazi. You can do a lot of crazy things with that, especially with their triggered abilities. So yeah, you can just say, you know what, take all those Eldrazi that you wish you were able to put in Eldrazi deck, all the cards that you wish you were able to do so before, because they used to be just all colorless for the most part, and chuck them in now a 5-color Eldrazi tribal commander. There's a reason why this one got so popular. Eldrazi is a very popular creature type, and now this opens it up to 5 colors. It was the face precon commander. Not surprised to see it up here again. 5th place finish, 6,527 decks to its name. Moving on to 4th place, we've got Obca, Splitter of Seconds. Yeah, Obca punches a hole in time, basically. A 2/5 Ogre Warlock for 4 mana in Grixis Menace. When it deals combat to a player, you get that many additional steps, upkeep steps after this phase. 7,200 decks on the dot to its name right now. This one is just building a fandom around it. There are players that absolutely love this one. I mean, it is upkeeps, treasure, of course, and equipment. So yeah, upkeeps is what most players are building around with this one. Just saying, you know what? I'm going to get through this commander. It's got mana, so I can get it through any other way. Maybe I increase its power a little bit with some equipment. And then all of a sudden, I get an absurd amount of upkeeps. Because I have all these things in play. Enchantments, creatures, artifacts. Things that have upkeep triggers, essentially. And now I get so many of them. My goodness, the amount of upkeep triggers I can get is absolutely absurd. Again, because it's based on the damage that you dealt. Oh my goodness. So yeah, all those cards that over the years, just like, yeah, okay, upkeeps are nice. Upkeep triggers are nice. Now you're going to say, oh, yeah, I get this again and again and again. The amount of value to be had once you have it built up, players absolutely love that. Good enough for a 4th place finish. Again, 7,200 decks on the dot to its name. Moving on to 3rd place, though, we've got Mr. House President and CEO, 7,577 decks to its name. Again, I did tell you Fallout was the most popular precons of all time, according to Mark Rosewater, I believe. And yeah, these are really showing up on this list and definitely kind of illustrates that point. A 0/4 legendary artifact creature human for 3 mana in Mardu. Whenever you roll a 4 or higher, create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you roll a 6 or higher, instead create that token and a treasure token. Pay 4 tap, roll a 6-sided die, plus additional 6-sided die for each mana from treasure spent to activate this ability. Yeah, this is built treasures. Mostly. Chaos and tokens as well, but mostly treasures. And players apparently love treasures. It's just skyrocketed in popularity on EDH Rec and the themes page from, I mean, lower on the list, a lot lower on the list when like Ixalan was a thing. I mean, when it just came out. And now all of a sudden, treasures, I believe, is the 2nd most popular theme out there. And this says, hey, yeah, roll some dice. All of a sudden, get some things. And also, get some treasure tokens potentially. So this is one where you can have a lot of fun. You can use and abuse this in a lot of ways. You can untap, you can do it again, you can do a lot of crazy things with this. And because it involves treasures, players are like, yeah, treasures, that's fun, crazy, cool. I do that again and again and again. Good enough for 3rd place. 7,577 decks to its name already. Next up at 2nd place, though, with 9,003 decks to its name. Yeah, this one is huge already. Again, Fallout didn't come out all that long ago. And again, it's making a massive impact with those precons. The Wise Moth Man, a 3/3 insect mutant with flying for 4 mana in Sultai. Again, a very, very, very powerful color combination that many players out there absolutely love. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, each player gets a rad counter. Whenever 1 or more non-land cards are milled, put a counter on each of up to X target creatures. X is the number of non-land cards milled this way. This is built with mutants, mill, and counters. Again, these rad counters, once they're built up, they're helping you mill, they're helping drain. I mean, they're doing it to yourself as well, but it works really well with this kind of a commander. Of course, you can proliferate those kinds of things. You can do a lot of different directions. There's a lot of players out there that absolutely love the direction of this commander. I mean, you can do some crazy things with that mill, and those counters aren't bad either. Again, this is a commander that's like, hey, you know what? I already have flying. Give me those counters. Let me get through. Let me take out some players, either with mill, or this, or that, or draining. There's a lot of different avenues to victory for this one. A lot of players really like this one. 2nd place finish, 9,003 decks to its name. Finally, though, the 1st place finish with 9,331 decks to its name. We got Voya Voja. I can never know how to say that. Jaws of the Conclave, 5/5 Wolf for 5 mana in Naya. Vigilance Trample, Ward 3. When it attacks, put X counters on each creature controller, X the number of elves you control, draw a card for each wolf you control. Basically, you take 2 tribes, one very, very popular with elves, like one of the most popular tribes out there, and wolves, one that, I mean, could use some support, and then just smash them together and say, here's a very powerful commander that definitely didn't need Ward 3, but it has it, so it's protected. It can also be a win condition for you that also can stay back and block for you. The wider you go with wolves, the more cards you are drawing, the engine that you are building, you are digging down into your deck, the more elves you play, which is so easy to do because there's a lot of low-to-the-ground elves that can even help you with mana, too. All of a sudden, you just toss those elves in play, and you get so many counters on your creatures, it's absurd. So yeah, this commander is built with elves, built with wolves, built tokens, a combination of all those things, and players absolutely love it. It is powerful. It is well, a very popular tribal commander as well. So yeah, 9,331 decks to its name. Good enough for first place. Congratulations, Voya, Voja, however you say your name, Jaws of the Conclave. But now this episode is coming to a close. If you are interested in any of these commanders, I have done some deck techs on some of them. Make sure you check those deck techs out. Also, comment below with your thoughts on these commanders and check out the card list link in the description below. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.